Welcome back to the Himalayan prospecting. I might be kind of yelling at you today. It's very windy. Anyhow, I'd like to share with you guys a little bit about how to find a great gold deposit. Now, I'm going to do my best. I've been doing this for quite some time now, so I still haven't figured out how not to break my phone and all that, so I'm gonna try not to do that today. Anyhow, well, let's get to finding some gold. All right. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is placer deposit. This gold has traveled many a miles, many a years. Heavy materials. So if you look around here, I was on a little shady, plus the wind is quite chilly. Anyhow, here's a rock. Let's start with that. It's pretty dense, I would say. It's got some inclusions on it. Let's see how hard it is. Well, it's not very hard. There actually might be some gold in that there rock. That's pretty neat. Looks like a bunch of hematite, magnetite, some iron staining. There's some dirt mixed in with that. Anyhow, pretty soft. You see I broke it in one whack. So that's not really what we're looking for. There's another one. I mean, we're not looking for something that's just going to break right up, because that doesn't have the density that we're looking for. So let's go find a harder rock. That one's quartz. It's going to be hard, and you'll find that all over the place because that stuff floats around pretty good. So I also want to talk about the bedrock a little bit. Sorry about the sniffles. That cold wind is kicking. Anyhow, so you have this particular style bedrock that is like shale. I mean, it has disintegrated so easily. It's not going to house much gold. Now, I have found gold in this particular style of bedrock, and that's just the gold that landed there before it became a conglomerate. See, there's rocks in it. So some exothermal water had covered this area and solidified the dirt and rocks that were there. So if there was any gold in between them at that time, you'll find it. Sometimes you got to crush this stuff up a little better to release it, but nonetheless there's a little bit of gold in there. Probably not worth messing around though. That's good for metal detecting and such of that sort. I do want to cover plants a little bit also today, and the way Mother Nature will keep you from finding a decent deposit. Snakes, thorns, blackberry bushes with thorns, different things of that sort will keep you or make it harder to get to a good gold deposit. Usually where there's things growing, that is a great indication that there's good minerals in the soil. So we're traveling a little bit from where we were just at. Now, a week or so ago I found a 1.5 grams in a crevice over here, and if you want to look at my previous videos you can see that. So let's go over here a little bit further lot of grass and trees and such. So I'd like to also talk about sand. I have found gold in sand. I'm not going to say it's not possible, but unlikely. So the squirrels have been busy and they've been digging out this sand. Well, normally you'd think, oh, how convenient and helpful of that little rodent. But they're not kicking out much gold. So this sand isn't going to house much. Look at the rocks, they're not very dense. And that's going into sand. So it doesn't want to break right away. Anyhow, it seemed a little denser, but that's just because it was crushing. That is, let's see, looks like some sphalerite or part of bedrock that had been tumbled in the river. Anyhow, this is a little different bedrock. As you can hear, there's a hollow part that will break off. Anyhow, there might be some gold laying underneath that because dirt has collected before it was completely solidified, and then after it was solidified, water has worked its way in there and allowed for maybe some gold to drop in there. Not enough to worry about. Alright, so we're on the west side of what I really want to show you. We were on the east side of it a moment ago, and for the mere reason I'd like to talk to you about the rocks and trying to find a good deposit. As you can see, a lot of these rocks are not real dense, and the way you can visually tell is if the rock is smooth. The smoother the rock, the denser that rock is going to be. So all these, like, that's a pretty decent sized rock right there, but it's not real smooth, it's rough. Took a little force, but you see it still broke pretty. It's fragile. Sounds like glass even. So there's some agatization going on in this, but it's not still quite what we're looking for. It broke apart way too easy. The outside is not smooth, it's rough. I could sand something down with it. So, not what we're looking for. Let's move on. Now we're going to go to the zone that I found the other day that indicated to me I should probably dig. So, see, the sand is kind of pale. All the rocks are getting a little smoother, a little darker sand. Bedrock is changing from a conglomerate to a shale, and then some of it is really hard. Anyhow, so let's come over here where things start to change. Let's see. Sorry about all the shaky, I'm walking and stuff. Alright. So now we see a change in the color. Rocks, they're stained, iron stained, so they're rusty looking. Let's get in. I mean, that is the most ugliest beautiful thing I've seen out here. Anyhow, squirrels have been helping out, unburying some of this iron stained rock. Now let's see what the density. Well, we're on sand. Oh, well, let's see, we got a red quartz even. That's quite fragile. They don't last very long. Anyhow, let's see here. Now, safety glasses are recommended because you don't want to lose an eye. Well, it broke pretty easy actually. That's sinking down into the dirt, and there's hematite, some quartz, a lot of rust. So there's iron, magnetite. You can see a little purpling in the black areas. Maybe you can't see it, but I can. The light's not real good yet. Anyhow, I'm gonna sniffle on and show you where I plan to dig. Now, the surface of these are much smoother. I mean, you hardly can even hear the metal. It is smooth. That is a dense rock. Okay, a lot of quartz. Pretty beautiful actually. There's some gold indications in this rock. However, you probably won't be able to visibly see any. Anyhow, things are getting better. Smoother rocks, more dense, more color to the quartz means that it's dense. Keep your eye out for cool glass. Just saying, could be uranium or something of that sort. I hate to tell you all my secrets in one video, but alright, let's find where I have put the poles. So back in the day, they used to mine, obviously, a lot of areas, and they used a lot of different things. There's the sun. Anyhow, that little piece of metal that's welded on there is a gangster, because it gives you great leverage. I was moving a boulder with this and this one. These are both old mining tips. This particular one, let's see, had a handle that attached to it. Anyhow, it's pretty thick. You can do some stuff with that. Anyhow, a couple of tools. Alright, so let's look at this from another angle. Sorry about the moving, but bear with me. Alright, so we've got a lot of shale style bedrock that breaks apart real easy. Then there's some harder stuff. That's a hard piece right there. Now that might have landed there, but 9 chances out of 10 it's buried, and it's probably very big. Now there's some more decayed stuff that, like I said, houses a little bit of gold, but it's not worth it. It's a pain in the butt. It's kind of full of clay and stuff. It's just not what you want to do. Anyhow, we got just what I was saying, some thorns, some vegetation. That means there's roots in some kind of soil. Alright, well, there's some big vegetation. So there's a whole tree. Let's go back over here. So a whole tree means there's a lot of soil. Alright, now if you follow this particular bedrock, it goes over here. So essentially there is a line of bedrock right here. Some of it has been washed away, broken away. But the rocks are so dense. I mean, they're very smooth. Some of the particular styles that should be rough are even smooth. That is a very dense rock. That's even denser and denser yet. Anyhow, so let's turn around here and look beyond the tree. So this tree goes in line with that recessed area where water would be blasting up here and around all of this bedrock over here. So there'd probably be some kind of eddy current going on. And the main reason I say is because there's heavy rocks, boulders that have been moved, parts of bedrock, and the roots that go from this tree. In this particular state, you're not allowed to dig at any roots. So I won't be doing that. Any live tree or plant you can get in a... So we're not going to do that. My nose. Alright. So I'm going to try to show you this the best I can. So I've kind of scraped out to see what is going on in these crevices of this shale style bedrock. Well, why am I interested in the shale? I just told you it's probably not worth it. See how easy that moves? I mean, I could break that whole front piece off right there. Anyhow, and it's not small. Well, look over here. We have a very dense rock. The bedrock's getting harder. Okay. So, let's slide in here and see what's going on. All these are dead, so I'm not worried about moving them. Okay, so we have a piece of bedrock. Pretty hard. It'll still break up with a hammer. This stuff is very hard. Okay. But look under there. That is a nice set of rocks. That's very dense. That's very dense. They're all very dense. This one that just came out, I could probably break that in one whack. But you'll get those floaters. That is a hard rock. Anyhow, it's jam-packed in there. So that is why I wanted to check this spot. So, what I will do to conclude this video is those are my tips of the day. And just so you can see in this crevice why I'm going to take this whole thing apart is because, well, I've dug in here a little bit, but it's pretty packed and a lot of dirt and rocks have been packed in here. And you can look at the rocks and tell that they're relatively dense. So I'm gonna get to digging. Look for my next video because it will be this dirt that I'll be panning out, classifying and all that. And yeah, I hope you like, subscribe. I have no supporters, so somebody willing to donate would be nice. I'm gonna diligently take this here piece of bedrock away because there's a crevice, and then I'm gonna take this part away, which is quite big, and I may take even the section here away, and I may take the next section away. Anyhow, I'm gonna get to the dirt that is in line with these rocks, and I'm also gonna continue, once I get these broken up, continue my dig that direction because there's bedrock, and I can guarantee you there's some pretty nice gold with those very dense rocks. I mean, that thing isn't, it won't break if you want it to. I mean, it will, but not easy. So that's what we want. Alright, that's a 20-minute video for you. Oh man, get out, enjoy the beautiful weather, don't get too cold. Peace, love, happiness. Speak positive things into existence, because affirmation is real. And the way America is these days, we need as much positivity as possible. And the more positive you are, the more positive things that'll happen in your life. So I will talk to you guys later. I'd show you me again, but I've got a snotty nose at this point. Trying to be as real as possible. So enjoy. Later.